events just in August through December. We're at about $20,000 donated, and we have a ton of other partners that bring these events to life, but these are the ones we wanted to say a special thank you to. Fountain Row Fridays live music on Fountain Square from August to October was Everyone You See Pictured, and it was the idea of Blue Level Productions to bring that to life. We had 8 weeks worth of free music on the square, and Blue Level does intend to bring that back in 2025. So thank you to all of these small locally owned businesses for supporting Fountain Row Fridays. Harvest Festival, we have well over 20 organizations that bring this event to life every year, but for the first time ever, the Mint Gaming Hall and Fast Freddy's Car Wash brought money to us for this Harvest Festival, and wrote a really cool picture of the pumpkin drop. We had about 15,000 people attend Harvest Festival this year, and it was an amazing turnout, so thank you to them. Scare on the Square returned this year. This is the trick-or-treating event on Fountain Square. It is entirely run by the downtown businesses. You see almost 20 of them pictured here who donated money to raise candy to give to the kids. And you also see Ryan Dearbone leading the Thriller Dance at the end of the event for the second year in a row. It's kind of the culminating event for Scare on the Square. We did the inaugural Downtown Duck Drop as the first ever fundraiser for Better BGKY this year, where we sold Thanksgiving-themed Duncan Hines Days rubber ducks, dropped by a Public Works bucket truck on the Fringe, and we made that much money in fundraising efforts to support downtown and Duncan Hines Days events for 2025. And the winning duck actually got over $800 in prizes thanks to 16 more downtown businesses and Houchins Food Group that contributed to that. And finally, last but not least, the Mint Gaming Hall and Fast Freddy's Car Wash came on for Light Up Bowling Green and Downtown Lights Up this year, both for the first time. And even though it was bitterly cold outside, we had several thousand people come downtown for Downtown Lights Up. Thanks again to all these small locally owned businesses for stepping up to the plate, and hope to see more in 2025.
Thank you, Talia. And we're very grateful to our community partners for their partnership, and we look forward to 2025. So congratulations on a phenomenal year, and the Kentucky League of the City of the Year as well. Thank you.
So speaking of that, I want to thank Parks again and their landscaping division for their work at Fountain Square Park with the lights, Circus Square as well. That's a huge job, and it looks beautiful as usual. So thank you to Parks and Rec. Finally, if there's anyone in the audience that wants to make public comments, please sign the register in the back corner of the room, and we'll take those up after regular session. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Meisel. Our first item of approval will be our minutes from regular meeting,
Mayor,
December 3rd, 2024.
Not to interrupt, but should we congratulate the Bowling Green High football team?
Absolutely.
I just would hate for the Purples to think that we don't
I think
love
there was
them.
2 state championships. The cheerleaders were state champions,
Yeah.
and Bowling Green in Class 4A for second year in a row they won. And I look forward to inviting them.
I've already invited them. I
Great.
apologize. They're going to be here on January 7th. I talked to Coach Spader today, and they're getting congratulated, I guess, at a basketball game tonight.
That's awesome. Thank you, Carlos.
So, yeah, they'll be here.
Sue. Those are fantastic wins for any community, but twice in a year for both those teams, I believe. And so that's an incredible feat, and look forward to seeing them. Okay. So regular meeting, December 3rd, 2024. Any items of discussion for the meeting minutes?
Move to approve.
Second?
Moved to approve by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Bailey. Roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-285.
Municipal order approving the promotions of Emily Cruz to the position of Office Associate 2 in the Parks and Recreation Department, and Kimberly Wilhelm to the position of Office Associate 2 in the Public Works Department.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Bailey. I'm sorry, by Commissioner Perigin. Sorry.
I'd like to ask a couple of gentlemen to come up, Brent Belcher and Matt Powell, to come up and speak about these promotions. Emily is in Parks and Rec, and then Kimberly is in Public Works. So if Brent and Matt can come up.
believe I'm first up. Emily Cruz is our office associate with Parks Maintenance in the Parks Department, and she started in July of 2022 and has been just a tremendous asset to us since she started. Very proud of that she's got the time served now, passed her test, and is wholeheartedly recommended for this promotion to an office associate 2. She'll do a great job for us, already does, so we're really proud to work with Emily. Thank you.
And in a similar vein, Kimberly Wilhelm joined the Public Works Department in December of 2022. She's been absolutely exemplary there at Fleet, been a huge asset to us. In addition to her regular duties, she works with us through the enterprise billing system for the rental fleet that we're operating now, maintaining the safety data sheets across the department, helping with inventory control, and more recently was the Public Works Shining Star for September of 2024. So we also wholeheartedly recommend this promotion and are looking forward to a long career from Kimberly.
Thank you, Matt. Questions, comments? Are they here? They are. Would you please say hello? Hi, Kimberly. Thank you. Okay. Well, we look forward to approving this tonight, and thank you for being here. Roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Congratulations, Kimberly and Emily. Municipal Order Number 2024-286.
Mayor, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can we go back? I forgot to make one public comment, and I really apologize if we can call a timeout. But I'd like to recognize Gary Reckert. He's here representing Kiwanis Club, and they've got a presentation that they'd like to present.
Gary,
Or
come on up.
Gary or Cameron, whoever wants to, or both of you, however you want to do it. I apologize, Gary.
Apology needed. This is Gary Reckart representing the Kiwanis Club of Bowling Green, and it is our distinct privilege to fulfill part of our Kiwanis vision. The Kiwanis vision, I'll read it just to make sure we get it. It's to be a positive influence in our communities, especially here in the Bowling Green area, and so that it's primarily focused on our youth, so that our children every day can wake up in a community that will believe in them, will nurture them, and will provide the support that they need to thrive. As a result of that, for the year of 2023 and going into 2024, we specifically created 2 fundraising events called Cornhole for a Cause, in which the Adaptive Sports of South Central Kentucky would be the recipient of that. And it is our distinct privilege to be able to present checks with a totaling to the new foundation, A Better BGKY, of $12,556 to be used for those purposes. Thank you very much, and appreciate the opportunity to partner with you in these children and youth activities. Thanks, Jeff.
To the Kiwanis Club.
And if I may, I really would like to call out 2 individuals specifically. One is Cameron, obviously, for his support and guidance on this along the way. I would be remiss if I didn't do that. And then Madison Duncan, who we affectionately call Maddie. Without her being there to make sure that all of it comes out and do the fabulous work that she does, I would definitely recommend and commend them and appreciate what they do. And congratulations after the effect for Cameron in his new promotion recently, and then Maddie as well. Great job.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Cameron. Thank you, Kiwanis Club. $12,500 donation. That's incredible. We're glad we have this new foundation and this new nonprofit for Bowling Green, and it's beginning incredible beginnings. All right, Municipal Order Number 2024-286.
Municipal order accepting the City of Bowling Green, Kentucky Annual Comprehensive Financial Report for the period ended June 30th, 2024, as prepared by the Department of Finance and audited by Cherry Beckert LLP.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
I'm going to call up our Audit Committee Chairman, Ms. Pamela Napier, to make a presentation. Ms. Napier.
Hello, I'm here reporting on behalf of the rest of the Audit Committee, which consists of Barry Pruitt, Jill Price, Dan Myers, and Carlos Bailey has been serving with us this last year, too. Cherry Bakert is a new auditor, except it's really an old auditor. Our old firm got merged with Cherry Bakert, so we had to do a few things differently. But basically, they gave us a clean audit, unmodified, which is the best you can get. They reported to us on November 4th and answered any questions that we had. Our overall government net position increased in 2024 by 22%, and that's largely due to construction and acquisition of infrastructure assets and also the reduction of the pension liabilities. Our net pension liability decreased by 15 million, or 13%. These are figures that the state provides to us. The state also provides us with what our pension liability is, and it decreased by 28 million this year. Our overall government fund balance is 145.4 million. And our general fund balance increased by 6.3 million, or 15% this past year. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. I'm sure you got this lovely packet, double-sided. And if you don't have questions tonight, you can always ask Aaron anytime you need to.
Pamela, Aaron, Katie, your entire team, to our boards, thank you. This has been a phenomenal year. I noticed that in grants was 36% of the government funds revenue. That was an incredible feat. So Nick, I know you're in here and led the way on that, but that has been able to bring capital to us and do programming for us that has been incredible. And I'm grateful for the work that goes into this, and I know it is has been lauded for its work year after year and for transparency and awards. So thank you, Aaron and Katie and Pamela, for your work, and the entire team that has gone in this. And I know Sean Weeks as well, and many more.
And especially Deborah Jenkins, your internal
Yes.
auditor.
Deborah,
all-
are you there? There you are,
She's
Deborah.
back there, and Bowling Green is so lucky to have an internal auditor. That's what keeps things running very well. Every penny she gets is, you can pay her.
Deborah, who won the
2 more.
turkey this year? So Deborah puts out a little competition just for internal auditing and for input from employees, and gives out a turkey. And so she gets the city behind looking for opportunities to be accountable and to have good accreditation and have good practices within our city. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I want to echo those thanks of the mayor, just the whole audit team, what you all do for our community, knowing that there are citizens of the second pair of eyes, making sure that we are managing the public's funds well. And I'm just so grateful for our finance team, looking at these numbers and how well you take care of us. And I know how much you take your job seriously, taking care of our city's finances, and all the incredible things that we're celebrating tonight, and just every night we're here about the amazing things that we're doing is because you all help set us up and manage these funds so well. So I just want to echo the mayor and just say thank you to everyone. I know it's not the part of the work that gets seen and celebrated, so I definitely want to make sure I'm taking the time to make sure you all know that we know the importance of what you all do, making sure that we are taking care of these funds in a way that helps our whole city thrive is the foundation of all we do. So thank you, everybody.
Yeah, and I echo it as well. I know Deborah just doesn't take it seriously. I know she loves it. She does. She'll go over those numbers with you over and over again. And sometimes it takes you a while to get it. So I appreciate everybody that does what they do in their role, because I know that it does take a team, kind of like echoing the mayor and echoing Commissioner Beasley Brown. It takes a team to make the city run. And without you guys, and then you're looking over everything, then you having the grants, we know that we wouldn't be the #1 city, as the mayor said earlier, in the state of Kentucky. So thank you guys. And it's been an honor to serve on that board with you guys as well.
Okay, further questions, comments? None? Roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-287.
Munis Porter accepting the Intermodal Transportation Authority, Inc. financial statements ending June 30th, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
For some of our bond agreements, when we issued bonds for the ITA, one of those stipulations was the presentation of their financial statements each year. So I'm going to ask Meredith Rosansky, Chief Operating Officer and Chief Financial Officer, and many, many other things at the Chamber and ITA to come up and give you all a quick overview of the ITAs. Had another good year. So Meredith.
All good news tonight, so you 2 for 1 on, I mean, you can't beat that, 2 audits in one night. On page 1 is the opinion by the auditors. Again, just like your audit, it's an unmodified opinion, which is the best that you can get. So we are very proud of that. If you look at the audit report, sort of pages 4 through 9 are the management discussion and analysis, and so that's what I write in relation to the audit, so somebody who wants to understand in layman terms what kind of happened throughout the year knows. But the rest of it is prepared by the audit team, and I will call your attention just to a few things. On page 10, under assets, we had an increase in cash and cash equivalents, primarily due to the interest income that we're earning off of some state funding that we received. You'll notice under grants, last year we had a PDI grant. We did not have one from the state. In the current year, we didn't apply, but we will for the upcoming year. And then also you'll notice a decrease in taxes, and you're gonna notice a decrease in wage assessment income. And I just wanna give some background. So when the original bond issue was done for the original portion of what is the Transpark, it was not enough money to sort of complete the park. And so each area of the park is a separate TIF. As the property was purchased, a 20-year TIF was put on it. And so they all have different sunset dates. And so the very first portion of the park, which is where Kite Lumber is and where Bowling Green Metal Forming is, it's sunset in June of 2023. And then in September of this year, the portion of the park where like Fruhoff and the top portion of the park sunset. And so that's why you'll see a decrease in these numbers, because that TIF goes away on those parcels, and those are our largest producing right now, as does the property tax. So you'll see a decrease in that as well. And then for the new bond that was done in 2021, the agreement with the ITA was that that money comes back directly to the city and the county to make the debt service on the bonds. So while there is more money being generated, it's not coming to the ITA, which is why you see a decrease in our financials. And so it looks like we're going to operate at a loss for about the next 10 years, but that was intentional. So, going on down, I would just point out too, construction in progress. So in the fiscal year that just ended, we completed the vast majority of the construction work related, really all the construction work related to the second bond issue. And so you'll see everything was moved up into that top line item. And then we have to do an adjustment. So since we're not in the business of selling property like a normal real estate developer, we're looking for those economic development opportunities where without incentive they wouldn't come, but they have a big impact on our community, like AESC. And so we have to do a mark to market, and our market is lower than what people are paying on the commercial market. And so if you'll turn the page on page 12, you'll see under operating expenses, there's a write-down of $19 million. And so basically the money that we invested in making the land ready for use, we have to write off, because that's not money the ITA can recoup. But that's what that bond issue money was used to pay for. You will see up above that under land sales, we did have several land sales during the past fiscal year. We had 2 to Southern Coal Associates, 1 to OI Glass. And then we also had some deferred revenue from prior land sales that had not been recognized because of the percent complete of the park. But that portion of the park is now 99% complete. So the vast majority of that was recognized as well. So that's why you see an increase. Again, that decrease in county wage assessment and property tax income and rental income is all due to the sunsetting of those TIF areas. Down underneath investment, non-operating income on page 12, that investment income increase, again, is that interest income that we're receiving from the money that we got from the state. So Two things I'll just point out lastly. On page 10, restricted cash, it says $44 million. And on page 11, you'll see fiscal agent payable, that's $44 million. So that was from the original $46 million grant from the state of Kentucky to put the water and sewer trunk lines in to the Transpark to serve the AESC project. And so as Warren County Water District spends down on that contract, both those accounts will decrease as we're the pass-through fiscal agent for those funds. But overall, a great report. Thank you very much for your investment in time, energy, and money over the years. I know many of you have served with the ITA. And I did just want to say, we lost one of our own on ITA recently. Gary Dillard was 26 years serving on that board and 10 years as chair, and he will be greatly missed. So, thank you.
Thank you, Meredith.
I was just going to say that, Meredith. It's going to be sad to come back to a meeting and not see Gary. And he was the director or the board chair of BRAD, Bear River Area Development District. It's really sad that Gary's left us, and pray for his family. So, but thank you for all you do. It's great.
Okay, commissioners, comments, questions at this time? None. Roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-288.
Municipal order authorizing the acceptance of a grant award through the Kentucky Economic Development Cabinet 2024 Government Resources Accelerating Needed Transformation Program in the amount of $3,276,000 for the Bear River Whitewater Park project.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
So as you all know, we got the $3.6 million grant from the National Park Service for the Whitewater Park project, which required a 50% match. Nick and Brent and Jake went to work. The state, as you know, opened up the new grant program, which stands for Government Resources Accelerating Needed Transformation Program, which provides for matches to federal grants. And so this is what you see before you tonight. They have awarded us the match for the Whitewater Park, which is unbelievable. So our only requirement is a 5% local match, which is $364,000, which will really save us a lot of money on the riverfront project that we can put in other places. So Nick, Jake, Brent are here, can answer any questions about this, but we are recommending your approval.
Absolutely. Congratulations on this large second grant and saving us a significant amount in starting this park. So we're grateful.
Yeah, I echo that too. $7,280,000 that's going to be paid, and it didn't even come from our own taxpayers. That's huge. A lot of people don't realize that, and just to revitalize something like that. For many of us that grew up in Bowling Green and are lived here for such a long time, we've probably always wanted something like that to be downtown. We kind of remember, I don't know if anybody remembers, but when it used to be the was it Trash that was over there years ago?
Yes. Refuge.
Yeah, that's how old I am. So, but I mean, it's going to be something that I do believe that in the future, it's going to be a game changer for Bowling Green. It's going to be a revenue maker, and it's going to be something that many of us have been wanting ever since we were kids. So being able to live through this and live through this time is such a cool moment. So thank you guys for even doing that.
As we're speaking on this, I know there's some poster boards at the Nats, and so the public can view just sort of the concept of the park as that grows. Are there any other places that the primary location that's located now? Just that and the website. Okay, thank you.
Brent, can you talk about, I've had several people reach out about this, and I know there's some confusion out there, but the safety factor that this is going to bring. We've had some drownings, and folks are paying attention to the river, and so I think it's going to make it safer, but I want to hear from you.
Yes, no. After the tragic losses this summer of 2 lives in the river, this topic has become more to the forefront. So we've had these conversations. We've had these conversations with our designers. We've had these conversations with public safety. We've had these conversations with the community so people understand that right now the river is not safe. We will tell you, do not go in this river. It's not a safe place to swim. It's not a safe place to be. The currents, it's uncontrollable. The dam that is there is a sieve. Water flows through it. It will trap you. It will hold you under. It is not a safe place to be. So our goal with this project is to create a safe access to the water, to get people into the water safely. And the way that these are designed, there will be a solid dam across there with a series of 5 drop structures. The water will flow through a drop and overflow down through the middle, and it will flush out. So it keeps people on top. These are meant to be floated on, kayak, tube, that sort of thing. And then as you come out of that, the water calms, and then you could go to safety along the bank. Right now, there is no access. So as part of this project is also building walks, sidewalks, pathways, things like that, and encouraging people to be down there. So it is inherently more safer just by having more people around, and you're changing the flow dynamics of the river considerably. Now, obviously, it's still a river. It's still a naturally occurring body of water, so there's still a level of risk that is involved. Depending on what the flows are of the river, that risk can be increased, that risk can be decreased. But there will be public education, there will be other amenities. That's the point of this, is to make this a safe place, to reduce that, to eliminate that, to create opportunities. So we're working with public safety. Whenever we started the Riverfront project years ago, access for the public safety to launch rescue boats was one of our top priorities, and that's why phase 1, I'll talk about in a minute, is going to have the boat ramp in there. So we understand the public's concern, but we're taking that into account as we design, engineer, and build of the Whitewater Park in the coming years.
Thank you for that, Brent.
Let me ask like just a follow-up, and I apologize, it's the lawyer in me, brother. Will it be like a guided tour, and will they require like any type of life jackets if they're gonna be doing the, I guess if they.
Whitewater?
Yeah.
No, this will not be guided. We will not be, I don't plan for us to be leasing or renting kayaks. People will still go into the river just like they are now. It is a public river. People can access it, so they will do it on their own ability. Our designers say many times what you see is a loaner life jacket station available for people to pick one up. But you know, we're going to tell people you should wear a life jacket, but we're not going to be there manning and checking and guiding. It's not that type of service.
Let me back you up. So there will be some type of life jackets if someone so chooses to get one, right?
I think that's what our designers recommend. What they see in a lot of places is just oftentimes they're just kind of a series of hooks, and there's just some life jackets there, and people can grab one, put it back, grab one, put it back. But this will not be a programmed service that we're looking to provide. That's not what this is designed to be.
Understand.
No further questions? Thank you, Brent. Roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-289.
Municipal order authorizing the acceptance of a grant award for funding through the Kentucky Economic Development Cabinet 2024 Government Resources Accelerating Needed Transformation Program in the amount of $285,298 for the Scottsville Road Shared Use Path Project.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mr. Mizel.
This is a similar item. It's the same pot of money from the state, the matching money from the grant program. We are requesting your approval to accept the 285, 298. Our requirement would be a 4% local match of 71,325 to provide the match for the $1,783,000 that we got from the Carbon Reduction Program grant for the Scottsville Road multi-use path. And so all in all, the 20% match on that $1,783,000 was $356,000. If you do the math, subtract our match of 71, you should get back to the 285. So again, I'd like to thank Jake Moore for working on this, and Nick Cook and Brent, and they're here to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Mr. Mizel. Great job, gentlemen. Questions at this time? Roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-290.
Municipal order authorizing the acceptance of a grant award through the Kentucky Economic Development Cabinet 2024 Government Resources Accelerating Needed Transformation Program in the amount of $225,000 for the Jennings Creek Greenway project.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
One more here. This is to get the match for the $1.5 million grant we got for the Jennings Creek Greenway project. This will serve us with the 20% requirement. So we got 225, and then we match that with a 5% of 75 to get to the 300,000 20% match on the U.S. Department of Transportation grant. So again, thank you again for Jake's work on this, and Nick and Brent. Again, just as other people's money that we're getting in to save our general fund money on these matches. So really goes a long way. So thank you. Recommend your approval.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mizel. Again, thank you, gentlemen. Questions? None? Roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-291.
Municipal order authorizing the acceptance of a grant award from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development for Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Funds in the amount of $3,850,000 to address stormwater issues along Chestnut Street.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
You've heard us mention the problem with the stormwater system under Chestnut Street from 4th Street back to the bypass. We would like to use this grant here from the CDBG Kentucky Recovery Fund in the amount of $3,850,000 to go back and fix that issue. It's been there for a while. We've tried pump station on it. It's not working either, faulty. So we would like to just totally rebuild this to mitigate future flooding in those blocks in that neighborhood along Chestnut Street. Matt Powell's looked at this intensely, and we think this is a good plan, and we're happy to say that this one doesn't require any matching funds. So it's a really good grant that we were able to get due to the 2021 storms that occurred in Kentucky. Follows that up. That gets followed up by the CDBG disaster recovery funding. So again, thanks to Jake and Nick and Brent for putting this together, as well as Matt Powell for the planning on this. This is something we need to get done, and really excited to get going on this and get it fixed for permanently, a permanent fix. And they're all here, can answer your questions if you have any.
Well, again, thank you for thinking outside the box. Thank you for, correcting a lifetime generational issue that has affected our streets, and all that flooding goes downtown and exacerbates a lot of businesses. And I know we've been drowning in that. And so thank you very much for putting this to paper and getting this launched and the idea and bringing it to the next level. So we're grateful.
This was a problem that Matt inherited, so we're going to get it fixed. Thank you, Matt.
Just a simple example of how these things that happen underground affect our quality of life. I can tell you in our schools, when it rains and it pours at 6 a.m., and we have this water that's pooling on the roads. It's our buses can't get to where they need to go. Kids aren't able to stand safely to wait for the school bus, and so kids miss school. When we have stormwater that isn't going where it needs to go to get out of the way, and it causes safety issues. And coming out of COVID, our kids need every single minute in that classroom learning to read and write that they can. And so something as simple as stormwater and the work that you all do, I'm excited because I know it means our kids are going to get to school more days and be learning and building their brains so that they can thrive. And so I'm just grateful for it takes all of us doing what we do best, because when you talk about the stuff, it's hard for me to keep up because it's so amazing what you all do underground with our karst land here that to keep us all safe. And I'm just grateful for you all bringing in these funds and helping us improve our community in every way you can. So just thank you.
Mayor, just a brief note. Did you all notice the name of the PNC Bank rep that's funneling this money to us? His name is Nick Childers. So I thought that was, I don't know if y'all caught that or not, but I thought that was
Abomination.
perfect. That was perfect.
Working behind the scenes.
Nick Childers at PNC Bank, so.
All right. Serendipitous. All right, without further ado, roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown. Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-292.
Municipal order authorizing the submission of a grant application to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security through the Federal Emergency Management Agency Assistance to Firefighters Grant Program in an amount up to $315,838.39 for training, cancer screening, and equipment for the fire department.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
We've gotten some really good grants over the years from the Assistance to Firefighters Grant Program. Deputy Chief Brett Smith is here with us tonight, worked on this along with Nick and Jake and Brent. But this is a really good grant. It's a 90-10, 10% match. We're getting $315,838. We'd like to use that for some cancer screenings for our firefighters. They're expensive screenings, but they're very worthwhile to scan for various things of coronary arteries, cancer, disease assessment. We could get 170 screenings, costing $144,300 to cover our firefighters and hazardous duty personnel, and then also we can also get 14 sets of basically turnout gear and equipment, coats, pants, boots, gloves for the new firefighters coming on, firefighters, 14 of them, and that totals about $61,000, and would cover about 24. Also, in addition, cover 24 fire personnel attend some training on the fire department training and network, which is live fire training, engine and truck operations, that sort of training, rescue operations that we can send them to, and this grant would cover that as well. So a lot built into this grant, this money. Deputy Chief Smith is here, can answer any of your questions on the use of this money, but really good grant. Recommend your approval.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mizel. Thank you, Chief, for being here tonight. Questions?
I'm just going to echo that as well. Maybe, Chief, you can give us a little bit of background, but first, thank you for, for our first responders always putting themselves at risk to help someone else out. When everybody else is running, from it, you guys are running to it. So how often, I guess our firefighters have to face something when they battle in a fire or something, and then they have to come back and they risk their own selves of possibly having cancer?
Yes, so we've learned through the years that cancer is one of the greatest risks and actually the largest cause of line of duty deaths in the fire service. And so we've come along in the last few years as that's been a growing realization within the fire service, and we've addressed that with a cancer prevention program, policies that we have in place. And this is just taking it the next step. There are numerous other cities in the state of Kentucky that are doing these screenings. Lexington, Louisville, Newport, Covington, Nicholasville. And so we're trying to get along with that to do these screenings. The ultrasound that is part of this screening is very comprehensive. It goes from the neck to the thighs. And there is also a cardiac screening aspect to it as well. So the value for what you get with that ultrasound screening is very good value for that. Yes.
Thank you for everything. All needed, and it's awesome that, you know, 90% of it is also paid for too. So thank you guys, and thank you again, Nick. I guess you're the man of the show. There's another Nick.
Oh, Jake is.
Oh, Jake.
working on this
Jake, I
one.
apologize, brother. Thank you, Jake.
Jake's helping us as well. The Assistant Firefighters Grant is something we've been involved with for many, many years. Has been a great program for us, and it allows for us to apply for multiple aspects through one grant application. So we can do a training request, we can do an equipment request, and then also the health and wellness with the cardiac and the cancer screenings. It's an annual grant that comes around, but it allows us to apply for multiple facets through it.
Thank you, Chief Smith, and thank you, Jake. Jake used to sit where Jack used to sit and take minutes for this, for the paper, and now Jake's writing for us, so take note, Jack. All right, roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown. Alcott.
Yes. Municipal Order Number 2024-293.
Municipal order authorizing and directing the mayor to enter into grant agreements for flexible neighborhood grants with various organizations.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
Okay, before I introduce this item, Karen Foley, please stand up. Karen Foley, our Neighborhood Services Coordinator, has announced her retirement, 29-plus years with the city. Will be still serving our community in a different way. I won't spoil that, but Karen, we want to thank you for your service to the city. 29 years is a long, long time, and you've seen a lot come and go, good and bad, and we just want to thank you for your service for all 29 years. Go ahead, say a few words.
I do have to say something. So, our neighborhood grant program, we started in 1999, and I did not create the program originally. However, when I came over from the police department, there was a stack of grant applications waiting for me to do something with. And so, with the exception of maybe 2 city commission meetings, I've seen all of the awarding for all of these grants over all of these years. And I want you to know, our grant program won the City of Bowling Green the Kentucky League of Cities Enterprise City Award back in the year 2000. And it is still an unusual program. There aren't that many of them out there. And so the fact that all of these commissions and city management and senior managers and department heads over all of this period of time, you all have chosen to continue to fund that with local funds over all these years. That is for all of us. That is for all of our neighborhoods and a celebration for all of us. So thank you for continuing to make that commitment every budget year. And even this fiscal year, we increased the amount. So thank you for that too. So even though these are the last ones I'm going to get to participate in, it's still a really great thing. And the future is very bright for all of our neighborhoods and certainly for NCS. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Karen. Next Friday is your,
This Friday.
This Friday, actually, this Friday.
And I keep teasing people saying, you don't actually see me and Taylor Swift together at any place. So I know she's just completed her Eras tour. And I'm not saying we're the same person, but we are sort of leaving at the same time. So just draw which conclusions you would like. But it is a little bit at the end of an era, but I'm really excited for our community and where we're going and all of the staff that are here. You guys know how great they are. There's a reason why we were the city of the year this year.
Right.
And it's 500 plus of us strong, plus all of you. And thank you. I appreciate it.
Congratulations. Thank you.
So, this item here, when you look at 26 years, we averaged $40,000 to $50,000 a year. We've put over the 26 years, we're in our 26th funding cycle. We've given back over $1 million to neighborhoods, and that's what helps make our neighborhoods strong and make us who we are. So congratulations to ourselves, I guess, on that one. So anyway, two here before you tonight. Cross Ridge Preservation Association, we want to give them $1,800 for landscaping on Meadow Ridge Court. And then Retree Bowling Green, Retree BG, we want to give them $7,500 for the continued restoration of tree canopy in the Bowling Green neighborhoods through tree education, tree plantings, and I recommend your approval for these two.
Thank you, Mr. Mizel. Thank you, Karen. Congratulations on your 3 decades of working for the city, and thank you for your next endeavor that you're going to for Hotel Inc. And congratulations on being named the CEO of Hotel Inc. Okay, roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown. Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-294.
Municipal order authorizing and accepting a proposal for an audiovisual project at Fire Station Number 5 and Training Center from Rexing Consulting Group LLC of Alvaton, Kentucky, related to a request for proposals RFP 2025-19 in an amount not to exceed $196,152.
So moved. Second?
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mr. Mizel.
So we are in the home stretch, pretty close with the Public Safety Training Center up on Porter Pike, and in need of some audiovisual equipment up there. And so we went out for bid. IT led this endeavor, went out with an RFP, and this is an evaluated bid, 50% cost, 20% vendor performance, and then 15% and 15% on proposal and capabilities. We got roughly 7 proposals, and committee put together in IT judged Rexing Consulting Group as the best proposal, and we are recommending them for this work in the amount of $196,152. Danita Weeks, our IT director, headed this up and can answer any of your questions on this item here. We've used Rexing on some other stuff, Rexing Consulting, and they are a local firm from Alvaton, Kentucky. So, but Nita can answer any questions you might have.
Excited about this new joint training center, and very excited to see this equipment. It's going to go to great use as well. Commissioners? Okay, no further questions. Roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown. Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-295.
Municipal order authorizing an amendment to the contract and change order with MKSK Inc. of Louisville, Kentucky for engineering design services for the Riverfront Park project in the amount of $1,100,000 for a total project cost not to exceed $1,508,600.
So moved.
By Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. Was that Perigin? Sorry, I couldn't hear. Mr. Mizel.
I'm going to ask Brent Childers, our Neighborhood Community Services Director, to come up and give you an overview of this item, walk you through. Brent?
Thank you. What a great day it is in Bowling Green, because it's another great day where we get to move forward on Riverfront Park. This is our one of our major investment projects. It's a big part of y'all's strategic plan that you put together a couple of years ago. And as this has continued to evolve, we've been able to secure more funding. So we now have secured funding for phases 1, 2, and 3. Tonight you saw a piece of that with the grant for part of the Whitewater Park, which is phase 3. But also phase 1 was originally funded with an ORLP grant from 2018, the $750,000 plus the $1.5 million that you all agreed to match with that. So that's phase 1. And then phase 2 is really just city money that we've been saving up through the budget process. Katie, Aaron, Jeff have been putting money aside for phase 2. And so whenever we awarded the contract with MKSK over a year ago, we knew that we wanted to do a master plan and we wanted to start phase 1. But at that time, we didn't know what phase 1 was. We just knew we were going to have a phase one that was going to be funded by the grant. And so now we've been able to define what is phase one, what is phase two, and what is phase three. That only recently changed once we got the Whitewater money, so we had to shift one to account for three, and I'll explain all this more later at the retreat to give you a little bit more in depth. But at this point, I think you all have an attachment that has a map that shows the phase one, phase two, phase three. So what this amendment to the contract does, we're increasing the scope of the contract. So because we have secured additional funding, it's time to design more phases of the park. Go through the engineering, go through the design process, and so what this will do, we'll finish out phase one, do all of phase two, and start phase three being the Whitewater part, phase two being the extension of the park along the landfill side or Riverfront Park West, and finish phase one design, which would be right at the riverbank, including the boat ramp and the top of the bank. These are all complex projects. They're all located in a floodplain, in a floodway, and on top of a landfill. So there's a lot of permitting, there's a lot of paperwork and things that have to be done by our engineering firms, so all that cost. But to give you an idea of what this looks like, that's about $16 million worth of construction money. This is the design part of that. But when it's all said and done, this is going to be about $16 million worth of construction through just these three phases. Continuing to try to raise money for phase four as that comes along, whatever that starts to look like. But you know, as you all continue to support the park, as our budget team continues to support the park and looking for other investors, both public and private, there will be more of these to come in the future. Because as we come up with the ideas, we have to put them on paper for someone to build, but we don't design those till we have the money to build them. So this amendment to the contract is really to turn loose MKSK, Strand, REP, our geotechnicals, all the professional services we need to then develop the bid documents to build these in the future. So that's what tonight is. It is an exciting time. We knew this time was coming. We wanted to make sure we had it all buttoned up before we brought it to you all, and that's what this is tonight. So any questions I can address on phases 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll just tell you 4 could come before 3. We'll just see how all that shakes out. But anything I can address to help answer any questions tonight, please don't hesitate to ask.
Exciting, Brent, very exciting.
It is, very much.
I know this is just design, but does this speed up our timeline at all? And we think something, you know, it will start to transform and we can start to see some new features that will bring people down to enjoy?
It will be real? Yes, I understand. Phase 1 will be first. In phase 1, we are looking to go to bid and construction in 2025. Okay, that is our goal, is to get that into 2025. Phase 2, we wanted to start the design now, because we want to go from 1 to 2, from the end of 1, because I have to have a clean break because it's federal funding. And so I need to break that phase 1, but I want to roll right into construction of phase 2 as quickly as we can. I'm really trying not to build this thing in such small increments that the community doesn't see what we're trying to do. And so we've talked a lot about this, because this is a $55 million park that we don't have $55 million for. So I have to share the vision, but also how do we get there? And we're going to get there through steps. So really we're looking at construction on 1 in 2025, probably completion end of 25, start of 26, start of phase 2 in 26, phase 3 will probably be more like start of 28. The in-river phase 3 is going to be a very complicated permitting process. That's why we're just starting that now. In anticipation of this taking a couple of years to get through that.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for working through all the different pieces to make this park come to life. It's really exciting. We, my husband and I had invited a couple down, and we were talking about, you know, the fun things that are happening in Bowling Green, and mentioned this Whitewater Park and what we're doing downtown. And they mentioned that they might have to come to Bowling Green for their honeymoon, and that is just such a fun thing to think about what we're doing here in Bowling Green. People are excited to come and just have fun and make memories, and I'm just really excited about what's going to happen downtown when we build this park.
It'll be truly special, truly unique. Anything else I can address?
Thank you, Brent, for your vision, your fortitude. Okay, roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-296.
Municipal order authorizing and accepting proposals from AU Associates, Inc. of Lexington, Kentucky, Wabuck Development Company, Inc. of Litchfield, Kentucky, and Live the Dream Development, Inc. of Bowling Green, Kentucky, related to requests for proposals for the Bowling Green Housing Recovery Program and Affordable Housing Funding Opportunity, RFP 2024-29, in the total amount not to exceed $2 million.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Beasley Brown. Mr. Mizel.
Back when we got the ARPA money, $16.5 million, you all made the decision to allocate $2 million of that to go toward affordable housing. And so we've been working on this to find the most leverage way we can go to stretch that $2 million as far as we can. And so Brent went to work on this, and we went out for RFP proposals, received 6, and Brent and his team have narrowed it down to 3 different firms that we would like to award to the $2 million. And for that $2 million, we can get 143 housing units, which I think is excellent. I think we took a stab at this a year or so ago and did not have that success with it, so we went back out, and this is what we're bringing back to you tonight. So in your memo here, AU Associates would get $660,000 to build 71 units. Wabuck Development Company would get $840,000 to build 120 units. And then Live the Dream, I would get $500,000 to build 2 units, totaling the 143 units. Brent's here, can answer any questions you might have. Hopefully this is pretty straightforward, but a big win for affordable housing here in our area, getting these 143 units.
I just want to say, I know this has been a mountain of work, and this is just the tip of the iceberg, but phenomenal. And I know it's over, I think, $135 million that's going into affordable housing into our community, and I know this is just a small part of that work, so thank you for your continued endeavors.
Likewise, I mean, affordable housing is very important. The only thing that I see, Jeff, it says 71 units that was going to Campbell Lane Apartments. I know you said it's, I apologize, my computer died. But it also said 120 for the other one, and I think it was 2 units for the thing. Was it 193? But you said it's 143.
I'm sorry, Carl, you are correct.
193?
I wrote it down wrong. It's 193.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
And 50 more.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No. That's a good error.
Yeah, I'm sorry. 193.
Yeah, but I appreciate you guys. You know, for someone that comes from, poverty, it means a lot, because I never want to forget where I came from, and I try to want to make sure that other people have that opportunity, because sometimes housing is one of those things that can build equity and can help others out. So I appreciate you guys there. And I know, Katie, you're back there. I appreciate seeing you. I hate that, Abraham's not here, but I know it's in good hands. So it's important that these things go on, and 193 is something that's going to help out many families.
Jeff, if you don't mind, so are these companies adding money to this? Because when I divide out, it's $10,363 per unit. So I take it they're adding money. I can't imagine they can build it for that.
No.
Okay.
No, there's a lot of other money.
Okay, good.
This is our allocation. So the 2 AU Associates and Wabuck are both getting a piece of the $135 million that the mayor talked about under the tax credit and CDBG DR multifamily program. We're just helping leverage that cost on the local side. The Live the Dream is just from us. They received this all gets complicated, so I'll try to keep it simple. Some other DR money from us, but they couldn't get enough, and so we funneled some of the ARPA money in there to supplement that. And this is to finish out a development we've been partnering with them on for some time. But the AU and the Wabuck are getting another pot from Frankfurt.
I was like, how can they
No.
build it?
They're not building them for $10,000 a unit, I
Okay.
promise you
Yeah.
that.
I didn't know that I wanted anyone to
But
look
what
at it.
I apologize, I didn't want to, I didn't explain that, but there were 2 of the 5 companies that I think the state had selected to do
Yes, they're 2 of the-
600 some units.
Yes, that is part of the 635 units that are coming to the community also.
I know when I was on Kentucky Housing Corporation's board, Warbuck did a lot
Yeah.
of building for them across the state. So I'm
Absolutely.
glad to see that
Absolutely.
name.
Yes.
Thank you.
Just a couple of follow-up questions.
Uh-huh.
Whenever I talk about these exciting things we're doing around affordable housing, the nonprofits that are helping people find housing, the first thing they do is run up to me and ask me, okay, now what do you mean by affordable housing? And are they going to be, capped at a certain rate, or what does it mean that these are going to be affordable housing units?
It's going to be affordable to 60% AMI.
Okay.
So that is the targeted range. They're still set on range, but so they are fixed for that income range. They will have some that will go down to 30% AMI based on the tax credit funding. I don't know the breakout of those off the top of my head, but most of these are focused on that 60% AMI range. And so that pushes those rents down where it's affordable to families that are in that 60% AMI range. Also, they have to take our vouchers. That was one of the stipulations. So it also increases our pool of eligible landlords for a voucher program. That was one of the requirements. If we're going to take our money, you got to take our money over here too, which is generally these are good partners that we have through our Housing Choice Voucher program. And so that's what we're talking about. So whether or not the family has a voucher or not, they're still eligible and can afford it at a 60% AMI, which we don't see in the marketplace. What that rent looks like, I don't know that number right now, but that should give you a rough guess.
And then is that over a certain amount of time that it has to be capped at that?
Yes, so they are 20-year agreements with the state, renewable for another 20 years. So look at these remaining affordable. Now, obviously, those will adjust over time based on what that 60% is. But look at these for a 40-year term. And that's one of the things we really wanted to, as Jeff talked about, leveraging with this program, is we can piggyback on the state oversight and the state management and administrative guidance for all those things, where we don't have to be the experts and the professionals in making sure that they're doing all these things. We can just be an associate of the state as part of this. And so that was a big part of establishing these long-term affordability guidelines that we would have trouble doing, but the state has much better protocols because they're built and set up for this sort of investment.
Well, this is just so exciting. Just working with families every day, trying to find affordable housing is so hard. And so I know these units that are going to be affordable with their 1 or 2 or 3 jobs that they have that are trying to make ends meet is really going to be so exciting for stability for families. And I know not even for them, but as we increase the amount of units that we have in our housing stock, it means it's going to help bring down costs for everybody. So I'm just really excited about this rate and the amount of which we're able to kind of grow our housing stock and what it's going to mean to keeping or helping to make housing affordable in Bowling Green. So just thank you for everything you're doing.
Any other questions or concerns?
Thank you, Brent.
All right, thank you.
Roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey. Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes, municipal order number 2024-297.
Municipal order authorizing and accepting bid number 2025-14 for the purchase of a generator and installation at F.O. Moxley Community Center from Young's Electric Heating and Cooling, Inc. of Scottsville, Kentucky, in an amount not to exceed $277,500.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
In need of a generator, standby generator down at the Moxley Community Center. And in your FY25 budget, we included this as a capital item. This is to allow Moxley to function as a shelter safety headquarters during severe weather or disasters. And so we went out for bids. We got two. Young's Electric Heating and Cooling came in with the lowest and best bid. This would install a standby generator, all permits, pads, connections, piping, electrical wiring, all that would be included at the Moxley Community Center for $277,500. Brent Belcher is here, can answer any questions on this project, as well as Melissa and I don't know, anybody else that knows this stuff.
All right, thank you, Jeff. In here, Brent, questions? None, roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes, and thank you for being here, Melissa, too. Municipal order number 2024-298.
Municipal order authorizing and accepting bid number 2025-18 for the purchase of chemicals and fertilizers for the Parks and Recreation Department from various vendors in an amount not to exceed $175,000.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Perigin. Mr. Mizel.
On average, Parks and Rec needs roughly $165,000 for fertilizer for the golf courses, sports fields, the parks. And so we put this out and we received pricing from 7 different bidders. And what Parks does is we'll compile kind of a catalog or a menu and be able to select which one had the cheapest fertilizer of 10-10-10, and well, that may be Pro Solutions or maybe one of the other ones. So this puts it all out there. We lock in these prices, and we do a similar thing with Fleet, but this would give us some selections to choose from when we need these products on time and delivered, and the price is locked in. So all these 7 bidders, some will be cheaper on some things and some on others, but recommend your approval, this list here.
Okay,
Brent Belcher can answer any questions you might have on this one as well.
questions? Roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown. Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-299.
Municipal order authorizing a change order to the contract with Scott and Ritter, Inc. of Bowling Green, Kentucky for demolition and sinkhole repair services in the amount of $55,286.58 for a total project cost of $185,286.58.
Second.
By Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Bailey. Mr. Mizel.
We originally had a budget of $130,000 for demolition and sinkhole repair. We had a very expensive project that we recently completed out on Singletree Way. Very large sinkhole. We had to relocate the family for a week or two. It was that significant, but we got it fixed. It just costs a lot of money, $97,000, which really ate up a lot of this budget. So we are coming to you tonight. We think we just need an additional $55,286 to get us through the end of June for the other projects we have lined up, and we're asking for this change order with Scott and Ritter to get that work done. So we have funding in the budget. We just need to get your approval for this change order on this contract. Matt is here, can answer any questions, as well as Melissa and Nick Lawhon, our geologist, who worked very hard on that project on Singletree and literally got to the bottom of the problem. And it was a deep problem.
The hole.
A big, deep problem, but we think we've got a really good solution and got it back to working order and on to hopefully some smoother waters.
Thank you all for being here. Questions at this time? None. Roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown. Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-300.
Municipal order approving fiscal year 2025 Parks and Recreation fees.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Perigin, second by Commissioner Hill. Mr. Mizel.
So from time to time, we have to take a look at our Parks and Rec fees. Before you tonight is proposed 2025 fees and charges recommended by our Parks and Rec Department, Brent Belcher. He put together a very nice memo to explain everything here, and he's still here with us, can answer any questions. There's no really significant increases in here, but we just have to keep up with, you know, costs and inflation and stay on top of things. So Brent's here, can answer any of your questions on this one.
Okay.
But in your packet, it gives you the current and then the proposed, so you can see all the differences.
Okay, commissioners, questions? None, roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes, municipal order number 2024-301.
Municipal order approving the reappointment of Mac Jefferson to serve on the Intermodal Transportation Authority, Inc. Board of Directors and authorizing the submission of nomination to the Warren County Judge Executive.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Perigin. My recommendation is to keep Mac on this board. His intellectual ability, his financial ability, and his service has been bar none the best, and I'd like to continue to recommend Mac for this.
Mayor, I agree with you. I serve alongside Mac, and he is extremely numbers-oriented and just comes prepared and comes. So I agree.
He actually serves on our, he actually oversees as a paid consultant for our firefighters and our police officers retirement fund that began years ago, part of a system that wasn't very good. And over the last 4 years, they have made about over, I won't say, but it's about 50% of what they've made, and we have not had to put into that fund in years. And so that's
He's sharp, Mayor, there's
been a
no doubt
phenomenal.
about it. Stick with Mac.
Okay, no further discussion. Roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes. Municipal order number 2024-302.
Municipal order approving the appointment of Benny Bruni as an alternate member of the City of Bowling Green Code Enforcement and Nuisance Board.
So moved.
Second.
It's moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Bailey. This is an addition to our Code Enforcement Board. We've been looking for some alternate members, maybe rolling them into permanent members. It's a very difficult board to serve on. Ben Bruni is a 22-year veteran of the K-2 education system. He's a vice principal at Bowling Green High. He was a previous high school head coach for football, high school English teacher, elementary teacher, high school assistant principal, middle and high school principal, freshman principal now. He has a BA and a master's at Western, and he also has a superintendent certification and a rank 1. He has 3 daughters, Dylan, Bradley, and Emery, and recommend him to augment this board. Okay, no further discussion. Roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes, municipal order number 2024-303.
Municipal order approving the reappointment of Benny Stover to the City of Bowling Green Board of Ethics.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Beasley Brown, second by Commissioner Hill. Benny Stouffer has served on this board. They don't meet a lot, but when they do, we need them, and Benny's willing to continue to serve, and I recommend his continuation, and he's willing to continue to serve. Okay, roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Perigin.
Yes.
Bailey.
Yes.
Beasley Brown.
Yes.
Alcott.
Yes, well, thank you all for attending. We're checking to see if we have anyone that wants to comment. Our next scheduled meeting will be next year, 2025, at 4:30 on January 7th. And we want to wish everybody a Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, go down and see the city lights. And thank you for attending tonight. And at 6 o'clock, we have Judge Lanford here, and he's going to swear in a few of us tonight. And Carlos will be swearing in next Thursday.
This Thursday with Judge Lanford.
With Judge Lanfear. All right, you're getting a 5 for 5, Judge Lanfear, and we're grateful that you're here tonight. We are adjourned.